Effectively communicating Costco's commitment to sustainability to its customers. Hi, my name is Kelly O'Connor, and thank you for joining me for my presentation today. Now the real question is, well, how do you do that? I believe the best avenue Costco can use is a white paper. Costco has a lot of great information out there. It has a 15-page report on animal welfare, an 11-page mineral disclosure, 3 pages of seafood sustainability, even a whole page on human trafficking. It even has some bad press from the news and a new business plan for its organic produce supply. However, that's a lot of information for customers to sift through on their busy lives. A white paper will bring all this information to one place. It will condense and simplify all the data that Costco has gathered. It will bring to customers' attention all that Costco is doing to ensure it's a sustainable and ethical business. And I believe the best white paper format for this is a hybrid called a problem solution and numbered-list white paper. I'll go more into those parts as we go through this presentation. Now, what is this presentation going to look like? We'll go over Costco's largest detractor in the public eye, the story that will bring a more positive light to the business, and the main points that should be highlighted from all the reports Costco has written, such as animal welfare, ethical seafood, and human welfare. We'll go over some of my qualifications, and of course the conclusion. Now the biggest bad press is by the Humane Society currently. They have put Costco under fire for not having 100% supply of its eggs from cage-free operations. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, about 26% of Costco's eggs come from cage-free operations, with the rest coming from caged. Now, this is made even worse by Brad Pitt and Ryan Gosling adding their voices to the Humane Society's ads by writing letters to the CEO. Now, how do we counter this type of bad press? I believe a good story versus a bad story. An organic headliner. As Costco is now funding Andrew and Williamson Fresh Produce, we need to get the word out to the people. Yes, we're working on getting cage-free eggs, but this is what we're implementing right now by helping organic farmers who are really making a change in how farming is done and protecting the environment. And Costco is taking a hand in that by helping to buy land and helping to buy equipment for these farmers. Now these two, the problem and a solution, will be part in the problem solution part of the white paper. It tells a story of, all right, this is what's happening, but this is what Costco is doing to step up. Following this part of the white paper will be the numbered list. The numbered list is nothing more than highlighting and laying out in a nice scannable fashion for customers of what Costco is doing, such as animal welfare. We would list out the 5 freedoms that Costco has committed to, such as the freedom from fear and distress, freedom from discomfort, freedom from thirst and hunger, freedom to exhibit normal behavior, and freedom from pain, injury, and disease. Those are the 5 freedoms that will be highlighted so that customers know these are guaranteed for all of the animals that supply our products at Costco. It will focus on the different species and industries, such as in the cattle, we have beef, dairy, and veal. In poultry, we have meat chickens, laying hens, hatcheries, and growing out facilities. Pork encompasses butchering facilities as well as sow operations where they're having the piglets. And all the auditing that Costco supplies to all of its facilities to ensure these practices are being upheld. Now, apart from going into the different parts, we also need to simplify, as an example on the ethical seafood. As you see on the left, this is a very dense but informational part of the report that Costco has supplied. However, after reading for a couple seconds, most people will lose interest and stop reading. Instead, in the report, you would take this type of information and turn it into what you see on the right. A quick scannable of, we are supplying from wild fisheries and farm aquaculture, and these are the considerations that we include. Conditions as fish stocks, protection and respect for the ecosystem, government guidelines, and practices to mitigate or limit environmental impacts. Boom, done. This is much more accessible to customers, and they are much more likely to take time to read what's on the right versus just scanning, looking at the left, and skipping over it. And in human welfare, highlighting that Costco has a global supplier code of conduct that prohibits human trafficking, physical abuse, unsafe work environments, illegal child labor, and so on in all of its operations. It also provides a ambiguous, I guess you could say, a safe way for workers to call and tell Costco if they are being mistreated, while also protecting their identity. Now, what qualifies me to bring all of that wonderful information into one? Well, I am an agricultural major, so I have an understanding of what truly sustainable and ethical operations look like in animal management, as well as produce operations. While on the other hand, I also have a business major, so not only do I have the dream of having a beautiful and environmentally friendly world, I also understand the business pressures and the complicated interactions between supply and demand. Aside from education, I've had 5 years of experience improving customer relations for organizations such as the Hilton Hotel, the City of Fort Collins, a nonprofit called Kids at Heart, and High Plains Scuba. This experience has allowed me to learn what information customers are actually looking for, as well as what they or how they best receive it. So what did we look at today? This white paper will tell the story of Costco's commitment to sustainability and ethical practices to its customers. It will simplify and make accessible diverse and dense information. It will address accusations by the Humane Society, but it will also provide examples of solutions Costco is implementing. Now, I would like to take time for any questions anyone has, or if you would like to talk to me later, please feel free to contact me at the listed email. Thank you for your time.